Hi there, my name's Richard and I'm here to give you a bit of an insight and a review on the Cardo Packtalk Bold, which generally speaking is made for motorcycling and fits on this motorcycle helmet and allows me to talk to other motorcyclists who have a similar or the same kind of technology. I'm going to take this off here, so let's put that away. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things about what I think about this particular product based on the evolution of Cardo products over the last years. Now, I had the one of the original Bluetooth systems that Cardo produced and went away with friends who had the same kind of thing, and the Bluetooth was absolutely great, and hence why I updated to the Packtalk Bold. Yeah, and this uses mesh technology, which is a different thing to Bluetooth, and I thought it would be really good. One of my mates ended up buying one of these as well, so I have used it in the past on Bluetooth devices from my other mates that have got old technology, and that worked okay, but we'll go into detail on that. And I've also used it on the new mesh technology, and we'll talk about that as well, and the differences between the old legacy Bluetooth technology and mesh as well. So let's talk about mesh. When connecting to one of my friends in mesh, it's absolutely great, and with the JBL speakers in the headset, in the helmet, absolutely great, But from a distance perspective, when we're parting and riding different distances, I see no difference to that of the old Bluetooth legacy system. It doesn't make it any I don't see any advantages at all. So when using mesh, I guess the only advantage is that you can have up to, is it 15 people using this at the same time, so you can all talk together as a group. I'm assuming that's the case. The quality of the calls are very good. The distance between the riders, it's about the same as Bluetooth of 7 years ago, so I don't see any major benefit. When I connect to my colleagues using the Bluetooth technology, it really is not great. I find that the Bluetooth on the Bold is actually inferior to those products produced 7 years ago. I don't know if they are doing this intentionally to get people away from using Bluetooth and using mesh of the future. I've no idea at all. But when I was away in the Alps with my friends a few weeks ago, the Bluetooth was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So if I was buying one of these and was connecting to my friends who had Bluetooth, I might actually go for the old version of these, which you can pick up for less than £100. By the way, I got this for £180, one solo one for £180 on eBay. I can see right now that there's one going for me for £169. There are duo ones, so that's the price that I'm looking at today, and the date is the 2nd of August 2022. Also, the software version of this is software version 5.1, and this is up to date with the latest version from Cardo. And when I connect this to a computer, absolutely fine, and it updates it, and it absolutely works absolutely fine. There's no problems at all. Like I say, if I'd have bought this and was connecting to other friends who were using Bluetooth, which I did in the Alps only a few weeks ago, the experience wasn't that particularly good. So just bear that in mind. So, I'm just saying, it's just bear it in mind. So, I've already said you can update it via your computer. Absolutely easy, absolutely great, works perfectly. Connecting this to a smartphone, here's a smartphone, absolutely great, and the Cardo app on the phone works superbly in conjunction with your Bold piece of hardware. Absolutely perfect. When I'm on the bike, I can answer calls. I can listen to my music off the smartphone. I can reject calls. I can listen to the radio. And everything, generally speaking, is really good. The voice control works really well. However, on many occasions, the radio keeps on turning itself on. And I then have to go, Cardo, radio off. Or, hey Cardo, radio off. And it doesn't turn off. So then I have to end up pressing this button to shut it down, which it does. So then the radio comes back on, and then I have to shut it down again. And the radio comes back on, and I have to shut it down again. So this is a regular thing. One way of stopping that is when the radio comes on, I say, hey Cardo, music on, which takes the music from my smartphone, and then I say, hey Cardo, music off, and then it turns the music off. And a few minutes later, the radio comes back on. I imagine that version 5.2 of the software will address this problem. Yeah, so it's a bit confusing when, when I've been at the ports in passport control, and I'm talking away, and suddenly the radio comes on whatever frequency it is. By the way, the radio does work really well. Yeah, so the radio does work really well. Obviously it works better when you just stood still and listening to music, but as you're riding through Germany or whatever at 80 miles an hour, you pick up radio stations, and then 10 minutes later they're gone because you're out of the transmission field of that particular radio station. That's normal. That's normal. The telephone calls work really well, and from a recipient perspective, you can't even tell that I am on a motorcycle. It sounds like, from their perspective, it sounds like I'm in a room, a quiet room. So that's really cool. So, and the voice through the JBL speakers is really clear. It's really clear without earplugs and with earplugs. So when I go on long journeys, touring Europe, I tend to put earplugs in my ears to stop the drone of the engine and the noise of the wind and all that good stuff. But I can still hear it well. The JBL speakers really are quite loud, and they are clear. So that's a really good product. It really is a really good product. My only problem with this product is that the radio keeps on coming on a very regular basis, and I struggle to turn it off easily. I can't go, hey Cardo, radio off, because it just doesn't recognize it. And then it just starts playing around, and I'm touching my head, touching my helmet to press this switch here, and it's just a bit of a sod. Yeah. Is it worth £169? Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Also, when it comes to charging it, it charges really quickly. Yeah, although that said, I'm using a 10-watt charger, but it does charge really quickly. So, if two people are going away for the weekend and you've got one charger, don't worry about that. Stick one on. Within an hour it'll be charged, and then stick the other one on, and that'll be charged as well. Yeah, so they're really cool. I don't know what this antenna does, because we've tested it out with it down and with it up, and I get no difference. And we who have tested it don't understand the difference. Obviously this is a piece of plastic, so when you put it on your helmet and leave the aerial up, when you take your helmet off to go and pay for fuel or finish your ride or whatever, that stays up, and it almost looks like it's designed to break, just be snapped off. Yeah, so just be aware of that. When you use it and you flick your antenna up, which I do not understand what it does or what it's connected to. Is it connected to the radio or what? I don't know. When you put your antenna up, don't forget to fold it down so you don't snap it off. It's almost like it's engineered to break. Yeah, it's engineered to break, so then you order another one at £169, and you know, I would be really interested if it snapped off to see if it still worked fairly well. So as a summary, if you're looking for a Bluetooth connector to connect to someone else's Bluetooth, I wouldn't go for this because it's not very good at all. The mesh technology in it to connect to another one of these or another mesh device, absolutely wonderful, but the range between the riders on two different motorcycles isn't any better, from my perspective, isn't any better than the Bluetooth of 7 years ago. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for other devices that will be tested in the very near future. And if you liked it, click the like button. Thanks very much. See you soon.